Hello, everyone. Welcome to the first episode of the Shaky Legs Run Pod.
Yay!
And we have the OG Shaky Legs crew here, the crew that have been doing some workouts together for all winter, really. But everyone is a member of the Shaky Legs crew. I just want to say that. But we got the OG crew here. And me and Thom are here to ask Sasha about her Boston Marathon experience because we've both been very curious.
Thank
yeah. Slow clap or fast clap. And yeah, so we're just going to go through a few questions that we have for Sasha, and there's no real structure to this. We're just going to kind of have a convo, I guess.
Sounds good.
And yeah, so we'll get into it. So the biggest thing I've been curious about, well, first off, congrats, Sasha.
Thank you.
You crushed it. This is your second Boston Marathon, right?
Yes. So this time around, I knew what to expect. I don't know if that was a good thing or a bad thing at the time because I knew that was going to be harsh the second half. So I think I might have been too conservative this time around because I knew what happened the first time. But yeah.
Right. But at the same time, you still had a good race.
I did, yes. Yeah. It was more consistent pacing this time around than last year, where the second half was just straight downhill.
Right.
Yeah, it was rough.
So you felt, even though the times were similar, you felt more confident after this.
Yeah,
race.
I had more kick at the end for sure. Whereas last time in 2024, it was like a death march from 30K to the finish. It was bad.
Okay.
Yeah. Whereas this time I felt stronger and I knew I was going to finish. The previous year, I wasn't sure if I was going to get there.
Okay.
Yeah, it was that bad.
No, you crushed it.
Thank you.
Okay, so starting off, like we're gonna get into the details about the race, but I've just been so curious about the whole process of like signing up for Boston. Like straight from you qualify for. So where did you qualify for your original race?
Originally, Barrington, Nova Scotia. It was last minute because I seen everyone qualify at the Fredericton Marathon in 2024. And I was like, darn it, I should have went there so I could go to Boston. And Daryl Steves was coaching me at the time. So I threw the idea out to him about doing a marathon to qualify before the cutoff in September. So we found one in Nova Scotia that was the end of July. So I think it was like 8 weeks to train. And all I wanted was to qualify, which I needed a 3:35. But of course, I'm very competitive. I wanted the best time I could get in 8 weeks. Yeah. So I went there and I ran just under 3:09. And then, yeah, I registered for it in September.
Okay, so 309. That's damn good.
I know, right? Off of 8 weeks of training. Yeah. But I mean, that's different than the Boston course. It was totally different. Yes.
So once you qualified, what was the process? Do you like, there's a time and date, right, where you can get online to sign up?
Yeah. So they will, they have like their own website, Boston Marathon, and they'll post the date that you can register and apply for it. And usually it's like the second week of September. And it's usually like Monday to Friday. You have that time to fill out the application and submit it. It used to be the first year I did it, they would let, if you had a fast time, you got early registration. But now they don't do that anymore. You just register, and it doesn't matter what day you do it. And then within like a week or two, you'll get an email saying whether you are in or if you're not. They just have to verify your qualifying time and then figure out how many people have applied and then start cutting if it's too many. Yeah.
So that's when the factor comes in where if you go quite a bit under your qualifying time, you have more of a chance to get in.
Yes, definitely. Yeah, you want to be way under. Yeah.
Okay, so you find out you get into Boston. Then what? How you try to decide like how you're gonna get there?
Yes. So they make you pay like right away. Yeah. And then you need to decide.
Do you mind telling us how much it costs to get to
So
the
it's
entry fee?
it's in US, so it's $250. So Canadian, it's like 300 and something. Yeah, which isn't too bad, I guess.
Honestly, a lot of the ultra marathon races are more expensive than that now.
Yeah, when
Yeah.
you mentioned some of them, because I thought Boston was ridiculous, I was like, okay, Boston isn't that bad then. Yeah, so it just depends on what our dollar is, but it's always $250 US. So yeah, it just depends how our dollar's doing at that time. Yeah. Um, so then the best thing you should do is get a hold of Garth and Helena Miller of Fun Day Sports Tourism, and they do the bus tour and they take care of everything, especially your first year, because they will take you right to where you need to be the morning of the marathon. And then you get on that bus. And then that bus takes you to the athletes' village, which you could be there for a couple of hours waiting. It's like a big tent. All the runners are just kind of chilling. There's like a million porta potties. There's water. It's quite the scene. In the line, I mean, there's so many porta potties, but the lineups are ridiculous. Like as soon as you get there, you want to get in a line for a porta potty. But it's easier for boys because they have like their separate area where they can just. Whereas girls, we have to wait for the porta potty.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
This is race morning.
yeah,
Yeah.
race morning.
Okay. So how many days you went up 2 days
So
before though, right?
right. So Friday, I got on the bus. So you can get on the bus in Salisbury or in Laurenville. So I got on in Laurenville at 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock. And then we took off right to the border. Then we had to do all that, which was really quick. We were a little worried about the border, but we were in and out. And then we got across, and then we have some stops here and there. We stop for lunch, and then it's a very long bus drive. We finally got there. I think it was around 5, and it's in Marlborough, Massachusetts. So it is outside of Boston, which is kind of better because it's cheaper because they put things up for Boston if you want to stay right in Boston. Um, so I think it's about 50 minutes from like in Boston. So you stay there. Then Saturday morning they take you into Boston because some of the runners that are on the bus are doing the 5K, which is Saturday morning. So you can watch that. And then you go and collect your bib at 9 a.m. And that is something else for sure. The lineups are so, so long.
Is it at the expo where you're grabbing that or
Yes, it's
yeah.
at the expo. Yeah. And but the lineups are moving quickly, but they have you going up so many escalators, and then it's almost like a maze where they have you going around, and then you get out of that room and then you're back into another one just to keep the lineups and the crowds not congested, but you feel like you are in a maze. You're literally walking like this and then up another escalator.
They must have it down to a science now though, eh?
Yeah, it runs really smoothly. Yeah, always. Yeah. So then you eventually arrive to your destination, and then they have it split up depending on your bib number. So you need to have your bib number, which they email to you. And it comes with like, what are those little things that you scan? Yeah,
QR code.
QR code. There we go. Yeah. So they have one of those.
We just showed our age there, Sasha.
I know. It's true.
Young Tom
Thanks
knew
for
what,
being
what
here,
it- what was
Tom.
up. Yeah.
I don't know what I would have called it. um, so then there's wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, depending on your Boston qualifying time. If you're really fast, you're in wave 1 and you probably have a red bib. I think the next one was a white bib. Um, so then they go off to another direction, whereas wave 3 and 4 go somewhere else to get their bibs. And then they have them all like labeled, your bib number so you know what line to get in. And then they just scan that on your phone and you got your bib and all your goodies that come with it. Like you get a Boston long sleeve. It's always really nice. And then they give you other goodies in the bag. Yeah.
Okay, cool. And shout out Sasha. She hooked us up with some
Some nice
socks from Boston,
some
which
swag.
is super cool.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Thank you. Yeah, go ahead,
Just
Thom.
a couple questions there. So, how many people were on the bus going down with you, and were they all from New Brunswick? And then, is the expo like in Boston, or is it by the start line, or where's the end line? Like, where's the finish line, and all this kind of thing too? Like, where is that kind of located? I guess that's what I'm kind of wondering.
So there was 31 of us on the bus. There was one guy from Nova Scotia, Garrett. Um, and then the rest were from New Brunswick. I don't think there was any from PEI. Yeah, so one from Nova Scotia and the rest were from New Brunswick. And that's another good thing of being on the bus. You're with other people that are going to go through the same situation. Some people, it's their first Boston, so they kind of get some tips and advice from other people, and you meet new runners. And then the expo is right in Boston, and it is right on the street where you're going to finish on Bolston Street. You can see it. It's a distance down, but you can see it right there when you're getting your bib and everything. Yeah. And it always looks different, like when it's not, you're actually racing it. You see all this stuff and you're like, oh, that's the finish line. Because when you get there at 42 kilometers, you don't see any of this stuff.
You're out of it.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, it's right there. So, usually after the expo, you can walk down, get a picture on the finish line, even though people say that's bad luck to be on the finish line.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, there's so many things like that, especially like your coat too. You always have to get a coat. Yeah, you're supposed to wear that afterwards. First year, I wore it before, and Colin and Quaid told me it was bad luck, but it was too late. I was already wearing it. So this year, I didn't wear it until I got back to the hotel and finished, and then I put it on. So maybe that helped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You felt a little better, so.
Yeah, that's right. Maybe it was true. Yeah. There's so many things like that, and I, of course, believe those things. Yeah.
Yeah, we're all a little superstitious.
Mm-hmm.
I'm at least a little superstitious. Yeah.
42 kilometers.
Right.
You don't want to risk it.
Price range of the bus trip was about $1,200, you said?
Yeah, depending on if you are going to room with somebody or not. But if you're just going to be just you, then it's around 1,200. Yeah.
Right. So you can kind of do the trip and not worry about anything except food for about $1,500.
Yeah.
I think that's not bad.
For
the experience.
Yeah. And then so that was Saturday. Yeah, Saturday was the expo that we went to and got our bib, and then we went and bought anything that we wanted. The Adidas apparel was there. And then they had other sponsors there selling merchandise, or you could try out other things. And then they have a big board for you to find your name. Lots of places to take pictures. Then they have guest speakers throughout the day if you want to stay and listen to those.
This is all Saturday still?
Yeah, all Saturday at the expo. In the expo, it is crazy there, especially when you're trying to get clothes. I compare it to a sale at a wedding dress place, and all the women are there trying to get dresses. It's like that, trying to get Boston Marathon. Yes, or Black Friday, trying to get stuff. Okay. It's madness.
So is there a lot of say you want one of the Boston coats? Are you guaranteed you're going to get your size?
You're guaranteed. Yeah. Oh yeah. You can wait till you get there. Yeah.
I'm assuming as a sneakerhead, there's probably every brand is there.
Yes, every brand. Yep.
And I've seen different storefronts that take over different places in Boston, and just for the weekend they the brands kind of enter.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
Go ahead, Thom.
I was just gonna add to that too. So yeah, you were saying I think to us that Adidas, you like saw the Adidas Zero at whatever Pro, and I saw a lot of people the new Puma shoe, the new super
Yeah,
shoe.
everyone's
Puma. I
talking
saw
about it.
some people just switching the day before the marathon to that shoe, like. But like, so
Yeah.
did you do you go and try on shoes at all while you're there? Because I know they have treadmills and stuff set up too. Like, did you do any of that or?
Yes, I did do that, but I didn't buy anything. No, I did not. No, you don't do anything different on marathon day. Food, sneakers, clothing. Oh, I would not risk it. Oh, yeah.
That's
Oh,
I've done that before, and luckily it's never gone wrong. But yes, you should never do that.
no.
Yeah.
That's a big no.
And you were, because you had two kind of super shoes to choose from for this race, and I know you were going back and forth between the Alpha Fly 3 and your Saucony
Yes.
uh,
Elite 2.
Elite 2s.
Yes.
But you went with Sauconys, right?
I did. So when I got them, I tried them out. They were great. And then one morning, I went out for a long run. It was colder, so I had 2 pairs of socks on. And everything, I love them. They're like little trampolines, and they make you feel so fast. And then by the end of my long run, I could feel my like big toes were getting sore, but it wasn't bad until I got into the car and I could barely move my big toes. Like it was really bad. I've never experienced something like that. And I was scared to take off my socks to see what had happened. And sure enough, they were full of like fluid and very, very swollen. And I was hoping, yeah.
How far out was this from the marathon when this happened again? 2 weeks?
Yeah, it was pretty close. Yeah. And I was in a panic mode, of course. And I was hoping maybe the next morning everything would have settled down, but I could hardly walk and I couldn't wear like shoes. I had to wear slides. And the pressure at night was so bad, I thought my big toes were going to explode. So I had to burst the water. I needed it to be released. And it felt so good. But then they got infected. And I was on antibiotics. And then we were okay.
That's unbelievably bad luck.
Yes.
Um,
So we're figuring it was the 2 pairs of socks and the coldness made the shoes like very rigid and hard. And it was just too much friction. Because after that, I know I put them back on because I loved them so much. And I thought they'll be okay. And they were okay. Yeah.
Still went back to them. And they worked out well.
Yes. So I only have one black toe and the other toe lost his nail.
If you don't follow Sasha on Strava, you wouldn't have seen the incredible photo of her toenail that had fallen off.
Everyone loved it. Did you see Paul Sand's comment? Toenails are accessories.
Yes. Oh my God. It's so true when it comes to running.
And I think my other toenail that turned black is going to fall off as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so you got a couple that are
It's
black.
getting pretty loose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's our favorite running store. Black Toe Running.
It is. I love that.
T
store.
dot.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So that's Saturday, and
Yes.
like you do all that, then you just head back to the hotel for the evening.
So Saturday was 28 degrees in Boston. It was so hot. So yeah, they give you so we got there right before 9 to pick up our bib, and we didn't leave there till 4 o'clock. So they give you lots of time just to wander around and do whatever you want in Boston. And then you go and find the bus for 4 o'clock and they'll take you back. But yeah, they have little shops out and about for like, because Adidas is the only one that's in the expo.
They're the major sponsor.
Yeah. Whereas everyone else, you have to go around, but they're all right there in that area.
Right.
And they always have like some kind of sale or something. Yeah.
And then, so the race is not till Monday, if people don't know, because a lot of marathons are usually Sunday. But so you have a whole nother day.
Yes. So then the next day, if you want, they will take you to the start line just so you can see it, because on the morning of the marathon, you don't see the start line because there's so many people and then by the time you get up there to go, you just barely see it and you're gone. So they'll take you there Sunday morning if you want to go, and you can get pictures there and everything. But I've never gone, which I should eventually. But I take Sunday just to rest, because Saturday I think I had like 30,000 steps in.
Right.
So Sunday was just like
Off your feet almost
yeah.
the whole day.
And yeah,
Did you do a shakeout run Sunday?
I did do a little shakeout run. Yeah, I think it was like 20 minutes and then some strides. And then the rest of the day I just chilled, watched TV. And then a lot of carb loading as well. Yes, don't forget carb loading.
What did you eat that day before?
So the supper before, I had, what did I have? Chicken Alfredo, I'm pretty sure I had. Yes.
Nice.
Yeah, some kind of pasta. But the hard thing is that it was on the Easter weekend, so a lot of things in Boston were closing or closing early. So yeah, that was a bit trickier this year to find in restaurants or grocery stores and stuff like that.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. But you found something.
I did, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So some people say, like, I've never ran a marathon, so I have some questions about like that aspect too. So do you carb load? So some people say 2 days before. So like, were you carb loading Saturday and Sunday, and then also, or sorry, yeah, Saturday, Sunday, and then Monday morning too, the bit before, or what is your philosophy with carb loading before a marathon? Like how much, like, and how often, and when did you start doing that?
So I'm really bad at the nutrition part. So I always have to ask somebody, and I always go to Jenny. Jenny lives in PEI. She's the best. She helped me win Sugarloaf too in 2019. So I always go to her. She's a dietitian or a nutritionist. I'm not positive which one she is. And her philosophy is always 3 days. So I started Friday. So I had Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And I think a lot of other runners do 3 days also. So yeah, lots of carbs. Like she recommended, of course, like anything like white, like bagels, Pop-Tarts, Dunkaroos, graham crackers, applesauce, pretzels.
I love Pop-Tarts.
Do you?
Before ultra marathons. Yes.
Yeah. You would love it in the States because the kinds of Pop-Tarts they have is
more selection.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yes, huge. Yeah, it's amazing. Their grocery store. Yeah. So lots and lots of carbs. By Sunday night, you don't want any more carbs. Like it's just, yeah.
You're loaded up.
You're loaded up. Yeah.
Just hydrating. You're peeing like crazy probably too, eh?
Yeah. Yeah. Lots of electrolytes and all that stuff. And then Monday morning, you do your usual whatever you eat before a long run, do the same thing as you would for the marathon. So also, because the start times are later, so the first wave is 10 a.m., and then I would at 10:25. So you're actually eating like 2 breakfasts before you even get started.
Okay, let's move into race day. So 10:25, late start day.
Yes.
Late start time for a marathon.
Yes.
What time?
Get warm.
What time do you wake up?
So we had to leave. I think we had to leave at 7:30 in the morning. We all got on the bus.
Which is normally a marathon race time, so it's like you kind of get to sleep in almost for.
You do, yeah. Right.
So you're leaving at 7:30, so you're up an hour before that, maybe.
Yes, and then like the hotel does breakfast and everything, so we're all down
That's
there.
Your first breakfast.
Yeah, having breakfast then, and then we all get on the bus, and then when we got to the athlete village, that's when I had the graham wafers. So she recommended having 8 single ones or 4 if they're like the double ones, and then having a gel right before you started too.
So you get down to the like start area and immediately get into the line for the porta potty?
Yes,
immediately. Okay, that's essential, I assume.
It is because more and more people are coming on
Even if
buses.
you don't have to pee, you should probably get in line.
You should just get in line.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. When me and Suzanne got there, we got in line, and we were in line so long. By the time we finally got in there, we had to go up because they'll call you when you're supposed to start making the walk down to the actual like start line, which is a little over a kilometer walk.
Oh, wow.
It's that far away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know that.
And you want to, me and Suzanne tried to jog. It's kind of like your warm up,
Right.
and people are moving very slow, and you're trying to get down there because there's more porta potties down there too.
Yeah.
So you need to use it again before you actually get in your corral. So yeah, it's a zoo.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nutrition wise for the race, what did you bring? Did you have, and what did you wear? Did you have a belt that you put gels in, or what, or your shorts, or what were you wearing?
So in 2024, it was really hot, that marathon. And I had, how did I use them that time? Oh, I had shorts that had pockets. But the shorts were black and they were tight. And I found it so hot. And I also wore my compression socks that year too, and a hat. And I remember I got rid of the hat because it was so hot. And I regretted wearing my compression socks because my legs were hot. So this year it was try to stay as cool as possible. So the shorts that I had were more loose and light, but they didn't have pockets. So I didn't know what to do. And then Suzanne did the same thing, so I felt better. I just stuffed them all in my bra. And I seen other people did it too. Yeah.
How many did you fit in there?
Oh gosh. 7. However, when I was done, like they're kind of pointy, so I was scarred up. Yeah, but it was worth it.
Did you eat all 7?
All 7
Yeah.
gone. I was very proud.
Yeah. Way
Yeah.
to go. And I did notice that they do have Morton gels throughout the race.
Yeah, so right at like I forget where it starts, but it's later on.
PTSD.
Oh, sorry. But they are worth a lot of money, and some people just collect them.
Right.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
just stuff them in the pocket.
And then,
Not a bad move.
yeah. But they have so many. But yeah, it starts later on, like in the second half, they'll start giving them out.
So they're the main sponsor.
They are. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm looking
Yeah.
at the map, and it's literally like Morton Station.
Yeah.
Okay.
Some are caffeinated, some aren't.
Yeah, we got Goose and Freddy. Little downgrade, but I actually prefer the Goo.
I did Goo.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did do Morton. Yeah, I did
Okay,
Goo.
so they were 7 Goos.
Yeah,
different flavors?
and well, 2 of them were vanilla just to shake things up, but the rest were watermelon because Jenny said like they were salted, so there was more salt in them, which I think helped a lot too. Yeah.
I love the salted watermelon flavor.
Do you? Okay, yeah. I wasn't sure because I'm not a big fan of watermelon, but it was fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so you make your way down to the start line, and it is close to. So do you see the 10 o'clocks take off, or are you just too?
No,
Yeah.
we don't see them take off.
Yeah.
Yeah. There are just so many people that you don't see anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
The biggest race I ever people wise that I've done is the Ottawa 10K.
Right.
And it was kind of similar. The only reason I could see it is like I was so far back, like there was an elite field, and I was so far back, and the hill kind of went up, so you could see down.
Okay.
So that's the only reason I could see them take off. But
Okay. Yeah, when this one is an uphill. Yeah.
oh yeah, so there's no
you
chance.
don't see anything.
Do you hear like the gun go off and stuff?
No.
Oh no, Yeah.
Nothing. Yeah.
So then they go off. You wait another.
Then they'll tell you when you can go into the corrals. And then that's a slow process too, because everyone's trying to get up into. So you'll have your corral number in a square on your bib, and like all the volunteers will help you too, so you get in the right one. And that's hard too because there's so many people and they're trying to get into their spots, and you don't know if you're going to make it to your corral before like the time to go. Yes.
Does that happen?
Well, me and Suzanne, we probably had about 5 minutes before it started.
So it was tight.
It was tight.
Yeah. Okay, but from the time you get there, which would be what, close to 8:30, when you arrive
at
in
the
at the
athlete.
area.
Yep.
So you have basically 2 hours to wait around for your start time.
Yes, yeah, but it goes by really fast.
Right.
But when we got to like when our original bus, the that we came with, like the tour, dropped us off at the school buses, you can stay on our bus for as long as you want. The school buses are the ones that take you right to the athletes village. But I didn't want to stay on our bus for too long because then you get nervous. Like, am I going to miss the bus? What time are we going to get there? Because then it's still a little drive from where they are to get to Athletes Village. So yeah, we might have gotten there maybe 9 o'clock. Yeah. And then, yeah, everything just flew by after that.
I bet there's
Yeah.
just so much going on.
There
right?
is, yeah. Yeah.
Cool. So start time. You make it. Where in your wave, where were you? Were you far back?
I was in corral 5.
So your wave takes off.
And then you're just slowly making your
Right.
way up.
So yeah, so your chip time, what was the difference there?
I don't know, actually. I didn't check.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a good question.
But it's you're not going out at your 4:35 or 4:30 pace until when?
So it is super crowded. So you're trying not to fall. A few people did fall because it's so crowded.
Yeah, the guy who won the race,
Oh yes,
he wiped
that's
out.
right. Yeah. In the start, it right away it's a downhill. And I remember once we got going, like once we got over that start line and we started moving, I looked at my watch and I was at a 4:15. And I was like, okay, we need to settle back down. But it's that little downhill right away.
Could
And
you
everyone else is moving fast too.
okay, do you feel like you're getting some space at that point, or is it still
It's
really
still really tight.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's probably not till 5K you're feeling a little bit more room. But for a lot of the time, you feel like you're trying to just like dodge people, which you really shouldn't, but you get behind people that aren't doing your pace. And it's hard because then you look at your splits and you're like, oh, that wasn't good. But you're trying to like space out, but you got no space.
So
Yeah.
everyone's kind of in the same boat.
Even though their times should be similar to yours because you're in that crowd, but it's never the case.
So you're heading down Main Street at this point, it looks like.
Yeah.
Heading to Union. Is this like tight through city streets at this point?
It is,
Yeah.
yeah. And somebody had said they had done the Chicago Marathon, and it has, I don't know how many run it, but their streets are wider, so it doesn't feel like it does in Boston. The streets are not as wide.
Yeah. Even from watching it online, you could tell it's tight.
It is. And you don't want to go like off of the street because it's rough along there. Yeah.
But the start line, tons of people.
Yes.
So everyone's going crazy then.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Lots of excitement. Yeah, and nerves.
And I'm looking at there's a little elevation chart. I'll put the map and the elevation chart for the whole pod on the video, so you can see it. But it really looks crazy because it's downhill for the first 5 miles, but it's undulating.
Yeah.
Like, so the overall race is pretty significantly downhill, right?
It is, yeah.
But how does it feel? Does it feel like that? Or because it's so undulating, does it feel like you're climbing just as much?
It is. Like at first you feel it going down. And then after that, it is like up and down, up and down. It's not a continuous down because you'll go down for a bit, then it'll flatten out, and then you're going back up. There are some like little hills in the first half that are tricky. Yeah, because you hear, oh, the first half of Boston is it's like downhill, but it's not.
No. It does not look like it.
No.
Like overall, yes, but no, it's going up and down
Yeah,
like crazy.
which is good because it's using other muscles, so those ones aren't really getting tired out, but your quads definitely are going to be feeling it later on with all that downhill.
Right. So you
Yeah.
got to be kind of aware of how
Yes.
fast you're going down those probably.
Yes, yeah.
So 5K in. 5K in. You're feeling good?
Feeling great.
Yeah. Oh, yeah? So
Sure, yeah.
really good
Yeah.
start though, hey?
Oh, yes. And I think it was because I was controlling the pace too. I wasn't trying to do something crazy like the year before. And then you also know, like, every 5 kilometers. Well, it's funny because
Yeah. So crazy.
stop. I wanted something better than that, I was kind of disappointed when I finished, and I was like, 3:13 again?
Okay, Sasha, so Sasha has this thing where even though she runs good on a marathon or a race, she doesn't like to post it. But you posted it this
I
time.
know. It took me a little while, but then I was like, okay.
Me too.
Aw.
When I saw it, I was just like, yes, she doesn't care anymore.
Yeah.
She's posting this shit.
But
And,
every time I ran over the 5 kilometer mat, because I know then the information goes on and you guys could see it or whoever, I felt like saying, okay, there you guys go. There's another 5.
That's exactly what I was doing too.
Yeah.
Just
As
checking
soon as
every
I go-
time. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it
That's what
was-
I thought of every time. I'm like, there you guys. There's some more.
It was really cool. They do a good job with the live tracking. Yeah. And
Yeah.
like everybody in New Brunswick that I knew at the race I could follow. And it was interesting because there was a few people I knew that didn't have, they started well, but they really fell off. So I was like watching Sasha, steady pace, steady pace, steady pace, and it just
Scared.
stayed that way.
Very scared.
Yeah. So 10K in, are you taking in the sights of Boston? Like on this map, it shows different kind of monuments and different kind of noticeable spots. Are you just kind of focused?
Oh, they would have to be very obvious for me to notice. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so 10K in, Farmingham, you passed that. You're feeling good still?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I was feeling good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. When do you take your first gel?
I was taking it every 6 kilometers. Yeah. Yeah.
So on the dot, you stayed true to it?
I did. Yeah. Yeah.
And taking water at every aid station?
I was. Yeah.
Yeah.
Always taking water.
Yeah.
Yeah. And by like the second half, I was taking 2 because it was starting to get warm, even though I don't know, it was probably only 15 degrees, but it felt warm because there's no shade out there at all. And by the end, I was burnt.
Oh, really?
Yeah, a lot of people got burnt, even though I had sunscreen on. But I was throwing water on myself too, so it probably came off.
When you say you're taking 2, like, are you slowing down a lot to take them, or are you grabbing one, taking it while you're running, and grabbing it from another? Because I know there's multiple stations.
Yeah, so they have them on both sides of the street. It's really hard because everyone's going in there, and some people know how to run and grab them, and other people slow down to grab them. So you do slow down some.
That's a problem in Fredericton too.
Yeah. I try to keep going as I grab and go. So then there's 3 tables. So I grab the first table, and then by the 3rd table, I grab another one. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's really congested.
Yeah.
Even though they're on both sides and there's 3 tables. And then you have cups all over the ground. Yeah.
You're just dodging those as well.
Yes, that too.
Okay. So 15K in, you're hitting the Natick. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Town Common. Still feeling good?
Still feeling good. Yep.
Yeah. So around the halfway mark, Wellesley.
Yes. So that spot is known for the colleges right there. So
Boston College.
yes, so they get out there and they the students are like screaming, like it's so loud right there. Yes, it's like a party spot. Yeah,
Okay.
and the music's loud. You can't hear anything.
The little
Yeah.
graphic here is one of those like megaphone
Yes.
things, so that makes sense.
Yeah, I forget what they call it, like the scream tunnel or something. Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
So that's a fun part.
that's a fun.
And what a
part.
good place to have it,
halfway.
Halfway part?
Yeah.
Halfway mark?
Yeah, I do remember that. Yeah. And I also like they have the best signs too. Everyone along the course they have really good signs. And there was a man, and I don't know if he was around there, but his sign said something about, yes, I'm looking at your ass. And I laughed. And he goes, yeah, I am. I do remember that too. But they have the best signs out there. Yeah, if you're paying attention to that stuff.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, there's always a couple on even the Fredericton Marathon that I've done a few times that
Yeah.
get you giggling a little
It
bit.
does.
Yeah.
It helps so much when like you're in the pain cave for sure. Yeah. Or like I remember the previous year, a little kid had one. It said something about like powering up or something, like hit it to power up. And at that point, I was like, oh, maybe it'll work. So I hit it. Yeah.
Donald Trump punching bag.
Oh no.
It was like something punch me or something like that.
Yeah, that'd be getting hit a lot.
Yeah.
Okay, so 25K in, still going well.
So coming close to Newton.
Yeah, that's where I'm trying to
Yeah.
very close. Yeah, here we go. So just before the 30K mark, you're hitting Newton.
Yeah.
So Newton is the first kind of hilly section, right?
It is. So there's 4 hills in there. Yeah. This is when things get tough.
Okay. And what's your mindset going into the Newton Hills? Are you feeling really good right then, or?
I was feeling really good at that point because I knew they were coming this year and I knew what to expect. They're not bad. It's just that there's 4 of them and it's in the second half. So you're trying to save energy for that. But yeah, they're not terrible if you're running smart.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you just kind of power up through, or do you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Because your paces were very steady. Like maybe later on, I think 1 kilometer, your pace dropped a little bit.
Yeah. Because usually some of them were up and then they had a little downhill. So you could kind of gain back some. Yeah. Going down it.
Oh, wait. Is Wellesley Harvard or Boston College?
No, not Boston College.
It must be. Maybe it's Harvard, eh?
Yeah.
Because I'm just seeing Boston College is later in the around Heartbreak Hill.
That'd be
Unless there's another school in there. There's Boston University. Oh, Boston University. Okay, yeah. I don't know that area.
I have no idea.
I could be totally wrong.
Yeah, but Boston University, Boston College, Harvard. I don't know if there's any others in the city or not.
MIT, is it MIT there? But
probably, yeah. It's Massachusetts for sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, yeah. Just shout out to the Harvard crew if it is Harvard. We don't know for sure, or Boston University.
You know, lots of people go to Harvard.
Yeah. I know one girl who played at volleyball at UNB. Yeah, she did her maybe her master's in architecture there. Shout out Selena. Yeah. I'm sure she'll watch this. No. So Johnny Kelly statue. So we're around the 30K mark. You make it through the Newton Hills feeling good.
Coming up to Heartbreak.
Heartbreak is between the 30 and 35K mark, right behind. And that's where it's close to Boston College. So still good?
I thought it's funny because you're counting and I thought I had already done 4 hills and I thought I already done Heartbreak. And I was going to ask somebody near me if we had done Heartbreak yet.
Oh, you weren't sure where you were at?
No, because I thought, I think that was Heartbreak. Because the previous year was such a fog that I don't remember much. Yeah, it was survival mode. So I was going to ask somebody near me because then it was a lot of downhill. I thought, okay, this is a long space between the last hill. So that must have been Heartbreak. Okay. And then we came up to it and I was like, oh no, there's Heartbreak. Yes. Once you get to the top, there's a big flag up about like Heartbreak Hill. Okay. Yeah. And it's 600 meters. So it's not terrible. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
How much elevation gain is it?
It's nothing like crazy. I had looked it up, but it's just a long and steady. Yeah.
600 meters, that's like just a little shorter than church. A bit shorter than church.
Yeah.
And what's that? 20?
It's like 800 meters long.
Yeah.
It's like 20 something.
20 meters of elevation gain.
Yeah, that sounds about similar. Yeah.
Especially if you're trying to hold a 4:35 pace.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's very similar. It's around I feel like 25 feet elevation. Something like that. Yeah.
So I see the peak here at of Heartbreak Hill. You make it up. Are you just hammering 415s down it, or are you or are you just like holding on?
The quads are sore.
Those quads are feeling it by now.
Yeah.
So
yeah. So then you have 5 miles after that. And still in my head, I'm like, oh, am I going to make it to the finish line? 5 miles. Like, I'm still in my head wondering if I'm going to make it to the finish line. And yeah, that would be the first time that I'm feeling some pain in the quads, but not bad. But you can definitely feel it on the downhills.
this is marathon running right here, though. Like, you're not quite sure if you're ever going to make it.
I know.
Like, you're just trying to, you're just hoping
yeah,
that your body's going to feel good.
I
Yeah.
know. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because so much could happen. Or like, well, because you read other people's Strava and be like, oh, this just suddenly started hurting and I couldn't move anymore, or I cramped up. Like, that's all going in your head.
A lot
Terrible.
of mental games going
It
on at this
is.
point, especially at this point,
Yes. Yeah.
because your body's tired, your mind's getting a little tired.
Yeah.
But obviously, you make it through the downs.
Yes.
You hit Brookline, and this is almost 40K in. This stretch becomes a little easier, right? It's not as hilly.
Yes.
You are still feeling okay? You're just
Yeah.
mentally battling with yourself, or do you know that you're going to finish at this point around coming up to 40K?
Oh yeah, by 40K I know I'm gonna finish.
Okay.
Yeah. yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the last like 5 miles is pretty much like downhill, which is good. You can kind of coast down. And then you see the famous Sitco
I
side.
was just going to ask about Sitco, and
you
then
can see it from far away, and you think like, oh, we're almost there, but it's so big. You could see it. I forget where you could see it from.
on the map here, you can see this little triangle, and that's
Yeah.
the Sitco sign.
Yeah.
And Fenway Park is right next door as
It
well,
is,
right?
yeah.
Do you look over at Fenway, or do you
Yes.
start?
Yeah, I do.
You take
yeah.
it in a bit?
Oh, yeah. Because at this point, you know you're going to finish, so you kind of get to enjoy what's around and all the hype and everyone screaming. Yeah, it's loud.
So right
Yeah.
from when does it get real crazy? Around the 40K mark with people, or is it
It
crazy
does.
the whole way?
It's crazy the whole time, but there are sections that are a lot more louder, especially at the finish line and then the halfway point too. But there's always somebody along the street, no matter where you are. It's crazy.
That's too cool.
Yeah. Yeah. So when you get to the Sitco sign, then it says 1 mile to go on the street. And then it's the famous, what is it, right on,
Boylston?
yeah, or it's right onto Hereford and then left onto Bolston. I always get it mixed up.
Yeah. Oh, it only says Boylston here near the end. So I don't
Okay.
know what the other street is.
I think it's Hereford.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see. Hereford. Yeah, I'm not sure. Okay, so Hereford to Boylston.
Yeah. But
You-
then when you turn, like, yeah, because you turn left onto Bolston, and then you can see the finish. But the finish is 600 meters away once you turn that street. Yeah, it's not right there.
So is this a 600-meter rep, or are you just
Well,
gonna...
I was trying. Actually, I think I got down to like a 4:15. Whereas last year, I think I was struggling to stay under 5 at that point. Yeah.
So you still had some...
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I never looked at my time. I never do look at my time.
So you don't look at your watch?
Mm-mm.
The whole race?
Well, I get like the split when it comes off.
Per kilometer?
Yes. But I don't look at the total.
Like maybe you would have tried to get sub 3:13.
I should have. Yes. I always do this.
So if you didn't hear Tom, like you would have tried to get...
I should have looked.
Yeah.
So I could at least have gotten like under 4:13 or 4:13.
Yeah, 3:13.
Yeah, 3:13. Yeah, I should have. But I never do because I don't know how I'll react when I see it. Yeah.
Totally get it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes it's a little not necessarily a good thing to be looking at your watch constantly.
Yeah. I'll just get the splits and not like the total time. Yeah.
So on your split, what pops up? Your average pace?
Yeah, for that kilometer. Yeah. So when I crossed the finish line, that would have been the first time I looked at my watch and I was like, 3:13 again?
That's your first thought?
That's what I said. I didn't look at the seconds or anything, But in my head, I was like, man, again? And I raced it smarter.
Okay, so I don't know if we mentioned Sasha's first Boston Marathon time was what?
3:13:49,
Right.
I think it was.
And this year's was what?
3:13:09.
It's a PR. It's a Boston PR.
Yeah, I messaged Colin right away. I was like, she did 30 some seconds better. This is awesome. I went and looked up your last year's time, and I was like, wait, I know she was a 3:13. Did she do like better seconds wise? It's like, yeah, she did. It's awesome.
I would have been so mad if it was like 2024 was better than this year. And when I ran it smarter, I would not have posted it on Strava.
But finishing feeling good and knowing that you ran a smart and consistent race must feel good, even though if it was only like a 40-second PR.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Once I processed it all, I felt better about it. Yeah. Especially like you never know when you stop running. I know some people will stop and walk during a marathon, but I never do because I don't know if my body will get going again. So I will slow down, but I will never stop to walk. So when I stopped after the finish line, I wasn't sure if it was going to lock up and be done. And I was shocked when I could just walk normally and everything was totally fine. Yeah.
And those are the times where you're like, damn,
I
could have I gone harder?
And the answer is yes.
I've had those feelings post-marathon sometimes.
Yeah.
Not all of them, but yeah.
Whereas the hip locked up and I had to have somebody help me walk. And then once I got through all the medical tents, because I didn't want to be put in there, once I got through all of those, then I felt sick and I just kind of sat like by the park. Yeah.
So
2024
totally
was
experience,
brutal.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And I said I would never go back. Yeah.
2 days later.
Yeah.
Can't wait for next year.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fantastic. So at the finish line, are people all hanging around? Is there a shit ton of people still? Or do they move people?
You need to keep moving. Yeah, they don't let you stop. Yeah. And there's so many volunteers there that are ready to pounce on you if you fall or anything. Yeah, they're right there in seconds. Yeah.
So how long are you waiting around there post marathon? Like, did they give you your medal kind of right away?
No, you got to walk a little ways. It's kind of like all sectioned out. So you have to walk a little ways from the finish, and then you eventually get to the medals. Or no, the first stop is the water, then the medals. And then there's people there to take pictures of you. Also, when you're coming down to the finish, you should look good, like straighten up, look like...
Yeah, don't do your watch. A lot of people say don't touch your watch right away.
Yeah.
Just go through the finish, enjoy. That's what they say. And then...
Yeah, because there's so many people taking pictures and stuff. I hate my marathon finish photos. Hate them every time.
Did you smile through this one?
I did, yeah. This one looked a lot better. I should send you 2024 and then this year's.
I learned this the hard way my first marathon, my 3:59 in Toronto,
Mm-hmm.
which I hated every moment of it.
Yeah.
And the finish line photo was me just like borderline crying. Yeah. It was bad, but then I'm like, okay, even if it hurts, you just got to pretend and
yes,
try to
you
smile.
pretend.
Yeah.
Everyone knows this. Yeah, look great. Make sure your shoulders are back. You're not hunched over. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Fall on my face.
Yeah. So yeah, that's very important. Look good for the
That would be a
pictures.
fantastic first marathon photo, though.
50, fall on my face.
Okay.
So then, yes, you get your medal, and then there's photographers there that will take your picture with your medal. And then you got to keep walking, and then they'll give you like your Boston Marathon. What is the term for it? That tinfoil they give you that you wrap up
Like
into.
a space blanket.
Yeah, your space blanket, which I kept both of them. I don't know why. They're cool, though.
Yeah, it's like a little souvenir.
Yeah, so I kept those. So then, yeah, they'll give you that, and then they keep you moving, and then they have like a bag full of Gatorade and food for you. You take that with you.
Everyone gets that? Yeah.
Yeah, everyone gets that. And then you're still moving along. They have like tents set up everywhere in case you need medical help and stuff. And then it is a long walk to get through all of that until you're finally out to Arlington Street. And then this is when I start worrying again about finding the bus because they can't park close anymore. They have to park. It's a good. The first year, it took me an hour to locate the bus. And I was scared I wasn't going to make it in
Were you
time.
just by yourself at this
I was
point too?
by myself, yeah. And I don't take my phone with me either. I don't want something else to carry. And I thought they explained it out. It sounded pretty easy to find where the bus was located. But no, it is not easy. Yeah. So this year I learned to stop, ask somebody where the location is.
A certain street or
yeah,
whatever.
I wrote the street on the back of my bib. Like that's for emergency stuff. I put the
Smart move.
street
Yeah.
there. Yeah. And the lady told me how to get there and it was better this year. Yeah.
So over from the finish line to the time you got in the bus, how long do you think that was?
So yeah, probably an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
By the time he gets through all of the street there out of the marathon finish, that takes a while. And then you kind of hobble your way to the bus.
And then you're just back to the hotel, or?
Well, you have to wait for the last person on your bus to finish.
Oh, yeah. So there could be like 5 people running 5-hour marathons.
Yeah.
Right?
So last year it was 4:00. We had to be there by. This year was 5:00. So I had a little extra time to find the bus this time. Yeah. Yeah.
You have to wait on the bus for a while, or?
It was quite the wait. Yeah.
Can you stretch your legs out in there?
Sort of. Yeah. I got really, really cold. And I think it was because I poured so much water on myself. And then it was a bit breezy out too that I was freezing afterwards on the bus. Yeah. Yeah. So I bundled up. A lot of people went and got like drinks or something to eat, but I just stayed right on the bus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just want to hobble up usually after too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, cool. And then you just head back to your hotel for one more night, or?
Yes. So then we're back at the hotel for another night and we leave the following morning at 7:30.
Do you get together with some people that evening to talk about the race, or are you just like passed out pretty quick?
Well, a bunch of them went for drinks afterwards. I did not go. No.
Just wanted to veg out after. Eh?
Yeah, I was done.
Totally
yeah,
get it.
Toast. Yeah.
Well, congrats.
Thank you.
Very proud of you.
Thanks.
It was great training with you too.
You guys
leading
helped
up.
tremendously,
It was just,
especially through this brutal winter.
Oh man, that was
Yeah.
a tough winter.
Mm.
Do you have any other questions for Sasha, Thom, or that you wanted to ask? Okay, nothing off the top. Curious whether, so when you finish Boston in your qualifying time for your age group, do you get back in?
Yes.
So you going back next year with me and Thom?
So I said,
If we qualify?
you guys will qualify if you guys will qualify, please.
You're telling me horror stories of your first marathon. I've never ran a marathon before.
You're,
Everyone is a lot more confident than me about how this marathon goes. Everybody is telling me, "Yo, easy 250, easy." I don't think easy is. It should not. It's not gonna be easy.
My first marathon, I was not running moose fartleks and one by one off. So
I
I think you're
understand
gonna
what you're saying, but we will see. Let's in 9 days we can have a post Fredericton podcast episode
will.
2.
Yeah.
You need a
To
What time do you need?
technically sub 255, right? So if you don't know this is the first year they've reduced the times, right? So before you would have had around a 3:35, now it would be a 3:30. For me, before it would have been a 3 hour for my age group of male, and now it's 2:55, but then still that's probably not good enough. So this past year I would have had around a 2:50, 2:50, I think. And so I'm hoping sub 250 should be good. I think the lowest like buffer or whatever they call it has ever been like 8 minutes and 30 seconds from 3 hours. So as long as I'm under a 252-ish, I should be fine. So
I did not realize it could be that big of a difference.
this past year was 7 minutes and 10 seconds. The biggest one I think was COVID, but I think it's when they only took 20,000 people instead of 30,000
Right.
people. So the 30,000 this year was the fastest one. And so, yeah.
But I don't think a lot of people are gonna go into the States next year, though, because of everything going on.
Oh,
A lot of people didn't want to go to
this might be a good time.
Yes. Somebody.
A lot of people, I think they said the most ever that didn't start or something like that. There was a lot of people that didn't start 2000.
There was a lot of people that didn't want to go because they don't agree with a lot of stuff going on down there.
Because there would be a ton of Canadians going down there.
Yes.
Because it's the closest major
Yeah.
marathon.
So I'm wondering if it's going to affect next year.
It's actually pretty sweet. Like Chicago. So if you don't know the majors, the Abbott majors, right? Chicago and New York and Boston, they're actually all pretty close to us. Considering, like, I mean, some of the other ones are a lot further away, but like we're closer to three of them than you are in California.
So
right?
true, eh? Yeah.
Which is crazy to think about. Like, we're a 7-hour drive to the biggest one in the world.
Yeah.
And then 2 of the other biggest ones in the world now of the 7 that there are, right? Because they just introduced Australia too. We're not even that far from like a 10-hour drive in New York, and I don't know how far Chicago is, but not that far. Like it's pretty.
It
pretty
is great.
cool.
Yeah, it is awesome. It's really cool.
Do you have any desire to run any other of the world majors? Like, do you have a desire to go to New York or London, or do you have any desire to go at any of those?
Actually, Garth and them, they do London. And London is right after Boston. Yeah, but it's more expensive, London is. Chicago and New York, I would like to do. Yeah.
New York is like, that's the one I would want to do probably over any of them.
Yeah.
So maybe we should try to get in there too.
Yeah. Yeah.
It wouldn't be, do they do a New York one?
No, they don't do the marathon. No, or they don't do Chicago either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Yeah, it would be doable for sure. And I'm sure there's lots of places to stay kind of outside of the city that would be a little cheaper.
Yeah, that's the key. You are so going to do 250. Yes. It's a Fredericton. Yeah, you got it.
And
know you do.
I'm going up Sunday to bike the new course. So I'm
This
gonna bring
Sunday?
yeah, I'm gonna bring my GoPro and I'll upload the video for anyone who wants to see the new course.
Okay, awesome.
And I'll just kind of bike the whole thing and just film it. It'll be a boring video, but it'll be I'm sure
For some people.
I would want to watch it. So
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So yeah, this was great. This is exactly what I was hoping. I'm sure there's going to be tons of people that have interested in all this kind of information. So
Yeah. Oh yes. the
yeah,
medal.
check out the medal.
So next year is the 130th Boston Marathon. So yeah, I have to go back because it's probably going to be like super special next year.
Yeah.
Next year will be the most special until the 150th, probably.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I know.
Yeah.
And if you guys qualify,
Right.
I'm going to have to sign up again and train in the winter again. No, you guys will. I know you will. He's already.
Doesn't count though again, does it?
No, technically, yeah. So you were at 2:59, and yours, what was your time? 3:05.
Yeah.
Yeah. So technically, you wouldn't have actually.
So yeah, I wouldn't have actually qualified,
That's a weird.
even though I ran last year. Here, grab the mic.
That's another weird thing is like, so if in Fredericton, say I run a 2:53, technically it's a qualifying time, and on the Fredericton Marathon thing it says like next year time, a little star BQ, but it might not be, right? Like it all depends on how many people apply that year and how fast people are running that year, and so it's can kind of be like a little false sense of hope, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So yeah, you could get your BQ, but it's never a sure thing unless you go way
so
way.
you
under.
get that email, yeah, unless you
Yeah.
go way under,
Yeah.
of course, yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Which
Cool.
Colin probably will. So
Well, I'm actually unsure whether I'm a 35 to 39 or a 40 to 45-year-old.
It says it's the age of when you do the Boston Marathon. And you turn 40 in September.
Yeah. So I'll
So
be
on Boston Marathon, you will
Yeah.
be 40. So that's what your time has to be.
okay.
He's going to be
I've talked-
40 in September.
I've talked about it on the vlog, but yes, me and Sasha graduated high school in 2003.
I'm younger.
Wait, when do you turn 40?
I am 40.
Oh, so I'm actually younger.
Yes.
I'm way younger.
Yeah.
Yes, but it's better to be older, then you don't have to run so fast.
Yeah.
Next year I should be running this.
Yeah. It's actually harder for you.
Yeah.
So even though, so I still have to go under 3 then. No, wait.
No,
305.
305. You got it.
Wow.
Yes.
I'm still gonna try to hold that 250, but
Yep.
we'll.
Don't blow up.
But wow. Yeah, just recently I've realized I don't have to go under 3. Well, I do have to go under 3, but yeah.
Yeah, but no. Like, so now it's the 305, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's so now you're actually only looking at like 302 probably.
Right, to safely have a chance to get in. Yeah. I'm still gonna try to hold on to you, like right behind you or Ryan keeping or whoever's out there.
Oh yeah, Ryan keep. Do they go around twice? Like, do you go? I haven't been to the Fredericton marathon in a while.
It's a little different. So instead of going just out and back and out and back,
Yeah.
you take a left. So you're going out. You can probably explain it better.
So you go over the Westmoreland Bridge, I think it's called,
Originally,
right?
yeah, you still
So
do
you
that.
go over there, then you take a left towards Mactaquac-ish area if you're going to Crab Mountain, and you go out like 8K that way, maybe 10K that way. I think 8K.
It's when you get back to the start line,
Yeah,
it's halfway.
but so when you come back, you don't come back over the Westmoreland Bridge. You go over the walking bridge back. Then you come back and go through the start line, which is half, do a little loop in town, and then go back over the walking bridge, and then back out on the walking, like out toward the walking
the
trail.
original route.
Yeah. And so like what I've told people that are coming to watch, like my mom or whatever, Beth, like a good spot to watch is the walking bridge probably area, right? Because you would see us twice. You'd see us coming back in and then back out across, right? So
yeah, you could actually start, see everyone take off, walk to the walking bridge, see us come back, and back out.
And I just recently went through the frequently asked questions of the Fredericton Marathon, and so they say you can get gels, you can get water from whoever you want. Yeah, so they suggest it actually. They say have your loved ones have stuff for you, like get water from them, get stuff from them.
Okay.
So I think I'll leave like my water with Beth, take it from her there.
Yeah.
And then have it for like that 2-3K, like have my water with me for that 2-3K, and then give it back to them, kind of thing.
Great. That's the guy who I'm going up with Sunday, Mark. Him and his daughter are going up, and Aaron, his daughter, is going to hand him stuff.
Yeah.
And she said she'll do it for me too if I need to. So
yeah, nice.
Maybe I'll do something like that too.
Yeah. Or Beth can take it too. But yeah,
right.
Yeah, that'd be. I think that's because I don't want to hold water with me the whole time, but having water for a little section to get hydrated, like of actually my own water that I could suck it out of and not.
And you can just drop the bottle and
yeah, exactly. And drop my mittens if I want to there too, like if I'm getting hot or whatever too. So yeah,
awesome. I'm pumped too.
Yeah,
so Sasha's running the 5K on Saturday.
5K elite.
5K elite.
Until I run it and they realize
she's the fastest of all of us. We weren't invited. For a male you'd have to run I think sub 16:30 for a female
just to get into the race.
Just to get in, and so we're not even fast enough to get in, but our training partner is. So
yeah. Beast.
Yeah, but I just did a marathon. I would rather do another marathon than do that 5K. Oh, it's going to kill me.
Yeah.
5Ks
are freaking tough.
They are. They're a different sort of pain.
Yeah, here's a question for you. I see this question. What's harder, a marathon at whatever your goal pace is or a all-out 5K? Like, what do you guys think is tougher? I've never done the marathon, so I can't really. I've only just ran a casual one. So.
I've heard you say this before, and my initial reaction was the marathon. But then you explained that most people would say the 5K, and I think it's probably the 5K, at the all-out 5K pace.
It is, yeah, because you're going as fast as you can for 5K, and you feel like you're gonna pass out. Like it's so intense, the pain. Yeah, your lungs, your legs. Whereas the marathon, you're pacing yourself at a certain pace, and it doesn't feel that bad. Yeah.
Like we said, I can smile, even fake it across the finish line of a marathon. I can't do it on a 5K.
No way. No.
I didn't feel like terrible.
Probably means you should have went longer.
Yeah.
Or faster. Yeah. You're still. Thom is like such a good runner, but he's very new to the sport.
Yeah.
You know, you kind of forget.
Yeah.
That you haven't done a lot of races yet.
I'm hoping this year to do the run for the cycle. So just do like one of every race and just see what I like. So And you have to and I don't think those have to be super serious races to do the cycle one. So I'm trying to do some more road races this year and do some trail stuff at the end of the season. I do like running trail more, but I'm just trying to focus on just seeing what distances I like. And so I think on the Run and Be website, it's a 5K, a 5 mile. Sacha basically wins this every single year, I think. She won it last year by an hour and a half or something like that. Anyways, but I just want to see my times in all of them. And just so it's a 5K, a 5 mile, a 10K, a half marathon, and a marathon. So I'm just going to run one of each, maybe two of some of them, but not the marathon for sure. But just see what I enjoy and learn what I like about distances. So,
I think that's awesome.
yeah.
What are you currently signed up for any races?
The Run for an A 5K provincial championship, the Fredericton Marathon, and then the 5 mile provincial championship in St. Andrews too, which I think Colin should come out and do too.
Yeah, I think I will.
Yeah,
that would be
fun
fun.
race. It's a really fun race.
And and that course I've wanted to try because it seems tough and like
it's tough and it's beautiful too. Yeah.
And the Run for an A provincial championship August.
Yeah. And then I'll just fill in some other races too. I think I'm going to do the Fredericton Fall Classic half marathon and just whatever I can.
Cool.
Yeah.
What about you? What are you lined up for this? You're signed up for a few. I know. We're trying to transition you to a little more
the
trail.
Opposite of Thom. Yeah.
So you have only ever done one trail race, and that was last year.
Yes.
And
at Pulley.
So what's your schedule race-wise looking like for the rest of the summer?
So I have the 5K Elite, and then I have the Rompin Rockwood 10K. That'll be interesting. And I also signed up for the Looney Loops, which is September, right? For the 6-hour one. Yeah.
One of the funnest experiences in running, I think, is Looney Loops. It's really cool.
Okay.
And it's just more of a party than a race even.
Okay.
You can be competitive if you want to, but you don't have to be. You can just go and have a great time.
Well, I'm going after the course record.
Totally. You got to go for it.
Yeah.
And it's a cool course because it's kind of runnable. Like you can go pretty fast.
Okay, it's not super technical.
No, there's a few sections for sure and a little bit of a climb, but the loop is like a lot of it is runnable and you can kind of go fast. So it's
good.
Yeah.
And now what are you signed up for?
Currently, I am signed up for Fredericton in a week almost, which is insane.
Yes.
And Rompin Rockwood 25K. And what else? I think that's aside from that, Capes 86K in August, which is like after the Fredericton, that'll be like kind of my main race that I'll be training for. But I'll probably throw something else in between.
You're gonna do the 5K Run for an A instead of PR.
Yeah, depending on when it is in August, because I'm not sure if it's the same date as Capes. But I'd also like to do, because I just got a bike, so I'll probably do the Gas Stop Gravel Grind. It's not a race, but you can choose like different distances, and I'll do the Ellen's Tour as well, which is another bike kind of event in town here. And yeah, that's about it so far. I'll probably be at all the St. John trail running events, like either running or helping out.
Volunteering, yeah. And the shout out to the event that's happening in town this year, the paint the town purple, or
Paint the Town Purple, June?
No, yes, last weekend of June.
Yeah.
5K
and an 8K.
Oh, you're doing the herring run too.
Oh yeah, herring run. Oh my God,
you're one of your favorite events.
That's Looney Loops. It's like up there with my two favorites.
Colin loves the herring run.
Yeah.
Brian, if you're watching, I love the herring run too. It was hard last year. Let's just say that. It was very hard. Hardest race I've ever done. Definitely. I see Colin chasing behind me. He's on one side of the rock cliff. I'm on the other side of the rock cliff. I'm like, oh crap. Here comes Colin.
The whole race.
I gotta go.
He was
Colin,
still way ahead.
For reference, Colin told me before the race, we're just going for a casual run a couple weeks before the race, and we were talking about our game strategy, and I was like, I'm gonna try to stay with Evan. Like, I'm gonna try to stay at the front, see if I can just keep him within range or whatever. I couldn't, but I tried. Through 10K about I did, or 13K. And anyways, Colin was just like, yeah, I'm hoping that you're just going to bonk after chasing Evan the whole time.
That's not what I said.
Basically what you said, like, I'm hoping that you'll just get worn out and then I'll be able to catch you on the second half. And so it's actually a crazy race. It's so cool for a lot of reasons. But there's one part you literally come out onto this like rock face, and then you go down this rock face, and you can only run the race at low tide because you cross the water at low tide. And so if it was high tide, it would be over your head basically, or so about. And so you cross the ocean floor, and then you have to basically use this rope to pull yourself up. So I'm like pulling myself up this rope, dying, like feeling like I think you're like 1K.
It's 2 loops, so this is the second time
This
you're
is the
doing it.
second time you're doing it, and it's a technical course. It's very technical. Like, it's hard to go fast. Like, I think my pace was a 6 something. Like, I think Evans was a 6 something too, like, or just under that. Like, it's tough to go fast on. And so I'm pulling myself up this rope, and I look over and across what doesn't seem that far because
It's about the only spot you can look back
yeah,
and see someone because it's
yeah.
technical.
Other than like there's one road piece,
yeah,
but
little
yeah.
road spot.
And I didn't see you there, so I was like, okay, maybe I'm good. And then I see you, and you looked, I don't know, you just looked strong. I was just in my head probably. I was like, oh man, there's Colin here. He knew I was gonna struggle. He's catching me. So I started giving it everything I had, which was not a lot. Like, I was hurting. And so I start giving it everything I have through this technical thing. And I see some of my friends, and they're like, good job, Tom. Good job. I was like, he's coming. Colin's coming. And they're like, go. And I'm like peeling.
I finally got to the finish line, like hoping that you were going to be there. Your whole family was there. And they were like, good job, Colin. I'm like, where's Tom? He's like, oh, he's like laying down somewhere. He can't
I struggled.
move.
I was struggling.
But
it was
good-
hot that day.
But
I
good
was
job
struggling.
turning on
Yeah.
the jets there.
Yeah. Yeah, didn't want Colin to pass me.
Such a good race.
Yeah. And then after, so what's great about it too is after there's like beautiful, organic, home cooked everything, like sausages, and I don't even know what else. Like, so much good food and just a good time hanging out. And Brian does such a good job putting that event on, and it's like and it's just in his backyard, right? So you can't even. It's not like something you can just go really run. I mean, you could ask him to go run it, but it's only really runnable that time, and so it's cool. It's a different course, and everyone just has a great time. So
That's a good one to
But
do,
it's
Sasha,
hard.
too. Yeah.
yeah,
It's way more fun than Tom just made it sound, but
it is.
yeah.
But like it was stressful because when I'm showing up, people are walking around. They're like, "I did the 2 loops last year, and it was the worst thing ever. This is why I'm doing 1 this year." And I'm like, "What am I getting myself into?"
The race directors actually of the trail races kind of enjoy when people say that the races are tough. So that's a good thing, I think.
It's fun. It's so fun. Yeah, I'm gonna take a break this year. Maybe I'll go back next year, but
What about Poli? Are you guys going to do Poli again?
definitely be back at Poli.
Yes, fully.
5K, Sasha, or 13? 5K for Sasha. What about you?
I'm gonna try the 13.
Try the big one?
Yeah. Anyways, back to what I was saying. The paint the town purple, and it's all for charity. I forget for something.
The women's shelter in town.
Yeah, the women's shelter.
Yeah.
That's the last weekend of June. 5K, 8K, I think, on the trail system. So I think I'm gonna do that. I think I'm gonna push Maeve too. I think I'm gonna try to go for a stroller PR.
Oh, that's fantastic.
I think I'll do 5K, and I'll try to go sub 20 with the stroller. That'll be my goal.
Oh, I
Yeah.
love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, what a good idea. And so we have Poli now in Sussex. We live in Sussex, New Brunswick, if there's people not from around here watching. And we have the 5K, 8K.
Yeah.
And hopefully we're going to have like a big, huge trail race, not this summer, but next, which we're hoping to have like a 25K, 50K, and a 100 miler possibly, or a 50 miler. And possibly, we're not sure, probably not this summer, but we've been trying to put into the works and to bring back the half marathon and what used to be the
Crosswinds.
Yeah. And because that was a beautiful course.
Yeah.
But probably not this summer, but hopefully that
soon.
comes back.
Yeah. Yeah.
Running, it's booming here in Sussex. And the
booming.
Sussex Run Club's back this weekend.
This is tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
All right. Anyway, thank you for tuning in here. This is a pretty long pod, I think, but I don't even know how long we've been talking.
An hour. and a
But
half.
thank you guys both for coming by and chatting.
It's
It
fun.
was fantastic. And
That was awesome.
congrats again, Sasha.
Thank you.
Yeah. And we'll see you guys on the next pod. I think we'll probably keep doing this. Me and Tom will get
You guys will get interviewed next time.
yeah, we'll
Your
bring you in
marathon.
and you can
Yes,
interview
let's
us
do
after
it.
Freddie. So
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. Nah, you'll be riding high. All right. Peace out.